Hey guys, it's Claire. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. So from last video, you might be able to tell that my space is a lot different right now. Last video, it was kind of crammed, so I switched things around, so now I have a bunch of space here to do stuff. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to make one of those really cute like clay trinket dishes. So I was on YouTube and I saw these videos of people making little clay creations, and it really made me want to do one, especially the trinket dishes, which you like put random things on. Usually you put jewelry on it, like your rings, necklaces, earrings, stuff like that. So anyways, I'm gonna be trying to do that, and I was also thinking about making like little characters, and then you put a magnet on the back, and then you have a little cute like clay magnet. So thinking about doing a frog. I just sketched out the frog too. I think the frog looks super cute. And the axolotl, which I don't know why, I just like made a really bad sketch of it, but yeah. So those are like my top 3 picks of what I think I'm gonna do. I'll probably have to decide which one I want to make. I don't know if I'm gonna make 1 or 2 or what I'm gonna do, but yeah. I'm going to be going to Hobby Lobby to get all this stuff, so I'm going to need to get some clay. I'm going to need to get like a clear covering because I really don't want the paint to chip. So anyways, let's get going. Okay, so here I am in the clay section in Hobby Lobby, and down here is the type of clay I decided to get. It's called DAS, or I don't know if it's pronounced DAS, but I've seen a lot of people use it. I also am grabbing just some little tools for sculpting, so I think that will be helpful. I also picked up some Mod Podge, and I got the glossy kind, and then I got some adhesive magnets because I was planning on making a cute little magnet creation. Also, while I was there, I saw these really creepy mannequin heads. Hobby Lobby, why do you sell these? Okay, so I'm back from the store, and I got all the stuff that I need. I have Mod Podge. I got this clay, and I've seen a lot of people use this clay, so I'm pretty sure it's good quality, and it's air dry clay. This, and it comes with like a bunch of little tools so that when I'm making stuff I can kind of like sculpt it with this. And the last thing I got is these little magnets, and they got little adhesive right here. So basically, if I make a little sculpture or something and I want to make it into a magnet, I can just stick one of these on the back, and then I'll have a little cute magnet. So that is all of the stuff that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I decided what I wanted to make is I'm going to make a cute little like frog trinket tray. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's going to probably be a long process because since it's air dry clay, I'm going to have to make it and probably wait overnight for it to dry. So yeah. So I'm going to be trying to do this really cute frog trinket tray first, and if I finish that, I will probably move on to doing something else. So let's get started. I have this little sketch of what I want it to look like. I didn't draw this on, but I'm going to draw like a little belly here, and I think that's going to be a little bit like 3D, because usually in these little trinket things, they make one part of it kind of 3D. Also, around it is all going to be built up by like a little wall. So yeah. So this is sort of what I want it to look like. So beginning sculpting, I was kind of surprised how this clay worked because I thought it was just going to be kind of the consistency of regular clay that you would use, but it kind of had like a nasty kind of feel to it. It was super really gross and wet, but it was still really easy to use. So it was really easy for me to sculpt everything. Only downside is that it felt really gross and it stained my hands so bad. It took me a good while to wash off all of the gross clay off of my hands after making this. So I just continued doing that and trying to smooth everything out. And thank goodness I decided to buy these little tools because without them, I really don't know what I would have done. It was kind of like hard to smooth everything out with my hands, so the tools were really, really helpful. So after this, I started building up the walls. So for building up the walls, I kind of just rolled out a really long kind of snake thing, and then I wrapped it around my frog and used that to build up the walls. I did this 2 times just because the first time I realized that the walls looked a little too short, so I did it 2 times, and then I thought that it was pretty good looking. So there is like this thing that people do when they sculpt that's supposed to help to stick together 2 pieces of clay. So it's basically what I'm doing right now, where I cut little marks into the clay, and then that's supposed to help them to stick together. I don't really know if it really helped that much, but I did it anyways, and I mean, it can't really hurt. And I did that while building up the wall just to make sure everything would stick together. After building up the walls, I started on smoothing out the little trinket tray because currently it was looking really crusty. So I went and got out my water, and the water helped so much. Without the water, I really don't think I could have made this smooth at all. So I used my tools and put a bunch of water onto the trinket tray and started smoothing it out. My fingers helped quite a lot to smooth out the bottom, but then I realized it was putting a lot of fingerprints into it, so I switched to using the tools. So I decided to put a belly on my little frog, and I wanted to make the belly kind of 3D so that you could put maybe your little bracelets around it, and also I just thought it would look super cute. So I went ahead and did that. Also, please excuse my head that is just popping into the footage. I was trying to get around all of the crevices and stuff, and my head ended up kind of getting in there. So sorry about that. So you can tell that I'm starting to make the belly, and I also put a bunch of cuts in it and placed it onto the frog. I started building it up and trying to make it as smooth as possible with the water. After I did the belly, I started trying to look for little imperfections and trying to fix them the best I could do. Me being a perfectionist, I spent way too long on trying to smooth out everything. And you know, sometimes they say stop while you're ahead, and I ended up going a little too far and ended up kind of messing up the belly, and I thought it looked a little wonky, so I had to go back and try to fix it to the way it was before. But in the end, I do think it looks really good. Okay, so here's my little dish right now, and I just put it on a random plastic plate that I had. It looks really good. I especially like that I add the belly, so then once that's dry, I'll go and paint it. And my desk is really messy right now with all the tools and stuff, especially my hands, which are very crusty. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so since I finished sculpting the frog, I went ahead and did a sketch of what I want to do next. So I'm going to be doing a little axolotl. It's really cute. I'm going to make this one into like a little magnet. I'm going to basically base off what I sculpt off of this. So let's get to sculpting. So I'm starting sculpting my axolotl, and before I get into this, let me just tell you that axolotl was 10 times harder to sculpt than my little froggy trinket tray. Since there's so many body parts to this and little pieces, it was really hard to connect them all together. So I started off doing the body, and I had to make sure the back of my axolotl was pretty flat because I was planning on putting a magnet on the back of it. Then I went ahead and rolled out all of the little like earpieces, and that took forever to do. After doing that, I went ahead and did the tail. The only problem with this is I was really scared that the little limbs were going to come off of my axolotl, so I tried to keep them on there as best as I can, and I hoped they stayed on. I actually ended up making the little axolotl a lot bigger than I planned on. So after sculpting this, I realized that I was gonna need 2 magnets to put on the back of this instead of just doing 1, just because I did make my little axolotl a lot bigger than I had previously planned. Then I went ahead and rolled out the tail, and I did the tail before finishing all of the little earpieces because I got really bored of rolling out all of those little like earpieces. I did have to roll out 6 of them, and sometimes it took a while to make sure they were really round and the way I wanted them to look. So I went ahead and I finally rolled out those last little pieces of the ears, and then after that it was time to smooth everything out. So after I did all of that stuff, I went on to actually smoothing out my axolotl because he was also looking dry and crusty and he needed some water to make him all smooth. Kind of a last minute decision, I thought it would be really cute to add a belly on the axolotl just like I added a belly to the little frog. So I went ahead and rolled it out and I put it on the axolotl, and I'm actually really happy that I decided to do that because I kind of thought he was looking a little plain and the little belly on him just looks adorable, and I just think it really makes the whole little clay axolotl look like 10 times cuter. Okay, so it is the next day now, and I checked on my little clay stuff this morning, and they were not dry at all. So they were still really wet feeling, and if I tried hard enough, I could like still mold them. So I left them on my counter for a little while, and then I decided to put them outside, and that seemed to help a little bit. But what really helped is I used the blow dryer for a while, and that seemed to make them pretty dry. So they're completely dry right now, and I will show you them to you. Okay, so here's a little froggy trinket tray. It's actually super cute looking. Of course, it's not like the smoothest thing you've ever seen in the world, but hopefully all of the paint and then the Mod Podge over top will help that. But yeah, it looks super cute, and yeah, it's completely dry now. And then here is my axolotl, which I think looks so cute. It turned out looking really cute. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is the back. The tail kind of looks like it could come off. So I probably will maybe use some glue, or hopefully like doing the paint and the Mod Podge will help. But yeah, so they're both completely dry. And this is what they look like, and I think that they look super cute. And I'm gonna start to do the painting. I have this whole big bucket here of paint. I'm going to be using this, and then I have a bunch of paintbrushes. The only issue is that I'm pretty out of white, and I'm gonna need white for the base coat. So I'm probably just gonna have to take these two bottles and cut off the top and try to scrape what's inside. I think I'm gonna start off doing the little trinket tray. Before I do anything, I think I'm gonna be doing the white base coat over top. I'm gonna wait for it to dry, and then I'm gonna go over top and do the actual colors, because I just feel like if I go immediately on with the colors, it's not gonna show up. Anyways, let's go do that. Finally, the moment that I had been waiting for forever was actually getting to paint these little cute clay creations. Before going on to doing the colors though, I did a white base coat because I really wanted to make sure that the colors showed, and also if I didn't do a white base coat, it probably would take me 10 more coats of colors for everything to show up. So I went ahead and did that, and I had to grab out my hair dryer so that the process would be a lot faster. After I did that, I went in with a second coat just because I was making extra sure my colors would show through. Then I blow dried that and went and did the back. This was kind of a messy process because I was blow drying it and it was still kind of tacky, so my hands were getting all white paint on them. And you're probably thinking, why do you have a Tinkerbell plate? Listen, it was the one plate I had that I didn't care about, and I got it when I was like probably 6 years old, so just disregard the Tinkerbell plate. And look, there we go, and I just put a huge blob of paint on Tinkerbell's eyeball. Anyways, I'm going on to actually painting the little trinket tray, which I was so excited about. I decided doing the little tummy, I wanted it to be more of a teal color and then the rest to be a light green color. So I'm going ahead and doing that, and then for the back, I decided to do a very light green, a lot lighter than the front, and then I went and did the sides. Like I'm saying, this was a very messy process just because it's really awkward when you're painting something that's 3D, and I usually am painting like on a canvas that is just like flat, so it was a lot different than I usually do. So this was the really scary part. It was adding the little face on my frog. So I did a very simple face, but as soon as I did it, I thought it looked adorable and it made the whole little tray look so cute.
I was kind of worrying about this for a while just because I was really scared that I was going to mess it up, but I think it looks really cute. I also wrote my name on the back with a teal Posca pin, which I thought was really cute. This is the part where I start to get a little bit crazy just because I see little spots that have imperfections and I try to fix them, and in the process I started making more mistakes. After fixing up everything, I decided to add some little blush on to the frog, which was so cute, and I got my white Posca pin out and I added a bunch of shiny highlights. So here's my little frog. He's all painted and oh my gosh, I love him. He looks so cute. I wrote my name on the back too. So now it's time to do the Mosh Posh. It says that if you're doing more than one coat, you're gonna wait 30 minutes before applying the next coat. Hopefully I only need to do one coat of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then hopefully my cute little froggy will be nice and shiny, and I'll wait a while for that to dry. I'm guessing it's going to take quite a while to dry, but once it's all dry, then I'm able to use it and put stuff on it. So yeah. So starting with the Mosh Posh, I just did a coat of this, and I kind of was scared that it was going to stay this cloudy white color. Thankfully, it did dry out. So when it dried out, all of that was gone, and it was looking pretty good. It took me a lot of coats though. So I have my frog here, and he's all nice and shiny, and he just looks so cute. I did Mosh Posh on the front and back of him. I did several coats, and he looks so cute. Here you can see you can put little cute bracelets on it, and it fits perfectly onto the belly. Like, look at the hair ties, and I can place the hair ties perfectly onto the little belly, and it's just so cute. I was so happy with this. So here is the finished little trinket tray. I actually think he's like adorable looking. I was a little skeptical, but I think he looks super cute. I am really happy with it. The only thing is, after I finished it, I was just waiting for it to dry after putting on the Mosh Posh. I waited and waited, and I'm like, why is it so sticky? Like right now, I touch it and it's still kind of sticky, and I'm like, why is it still sticky? It should be dry by now. Anyways, I looked at the back of the bottle. I was reading like the instructions, and it says cure time is 4 weeks. I have to wait 4 weeks for it to dry. That's so long. I really didn't think that it took that long for these things to dry, like completely, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait a couple weeks for him to stop being kind of sticky. Like, he's just like slightly sticky. So probably gonna have to wait a couple of weeks, but technically it's usable. It's just kind of like once I place it on my table, when it comes up, it kind of feels sticky and you can touch it. But anyways, so this is going to be the end of today's video, just because I had a problem with the axolotl. So I was starting doing the white base coat, and I just thought that I would go ahead and do that off camera because it's not really exciting. So I went to do it, and I was painting it, and I was trying to get around the little like ears. Are those ears? What are those things called? I don't even know what those things are called on the axolotls, but I was trying to do those, and one of them started cracking and fell off, and now 2 of the little thingies on the side have fallen off. So I tried to use hot glue on it to just like glue it back on, and it didn't work. Like, I would glue it on and it would just come off immediately. Like, the hot glue didn't work at all on the clay or something. So I'm gonna have to get super glue or something to stick it on because hot glue is not working. So come back next week for part 2. This was super fun. I'm really happy with the way this little guy turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see whenever my new videos release. Also, if you guys have any ideas for videos or ideas for me to do, please put them in the comments below. I read all of my comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.